All right. Hi, guys. Can y'all hear us? If you can, go ahead and post a like, or I can hear you anything below in the comments. We'll wait just a little bit to see if we've got some viewers on here. Oh, we got a like, so someone can hear us. Awesome. So we are back again for another edition of BMC Live. I am here with Jake Schneider, one of our finance and business managers, sales managers, gurus over here at Bismarck Motor Company. I am Chenille. I do the digital sales and marketing here at Bismarck Motor Company as well. So it's been a little bit since we've done a BMC Live. We took a little hiatus. We had a few things going on at the dealership, including wrapping up a fantastic month here at the store. We were able to help a ton of guests. So thank you to everybody that chose BMC. We appreciate your business. We love this community. So thank you once again. So today we've got a couple things going on. We are actually going to go through one of the most common questions we get from our guests is if you should trade your car or if you should sell it privately. So I guess Jake's going to we'll go through some questionnaires. If you guys have questions, please post them in the comments below. We have it live here, so we will read off any comments that you've got. We also are going to give away one of these really cool BMC campfire mugs, I believe they call them. So if you ask some questions and you interact with us, we will do a giveaway again. So we're excited to always do giveaways. So.
Absolutely.
Okay. All right, Jake, you ready?
Ready.
Okay. There's nothing in this one again, so we won't be drinking out of it. This is our giveaway mug. But okay, so first off, one question: what would be the best time in your loan or your lease to decide to trade a vehicle?
So it can be situational dependent. A lot of the times, what we usually recommend is really looking for kind of what your payoff is in relation to your trade-in value. One thing that we want to do is to still be a little financially responsible. Is we want to make sure that we're not going to be carrying a balance into our new vehicle. But a lot of the times with the way vehicles are priced, whether they're new, if they have rebates on them, sometimes even if you do carry a little balance, you're not going to be borrowing more money than that car's worth.
Yep.
And so it's when your needs change is going to be the biggest thing. But ultimately too, we want to do right by the customers and do right by everyone else at the same time too.
Absolutely. So really there's no bad or good time when you're in the middle of a loan or a lease if you want to trade, or if you decide to trade or sell your vehicle on your own. So let's go through, I guess, what's one positive of selling your vehicle privately, listing it on a classified site, taking the time to show it on your own? I guess what would be one of the pros to doing that?
Some of the pros are, and you may be able to, possibly get a little bit more money for your trade. Well, that may not always be the case. I mean, particularly in today's market, the way that the used car market is right now, you'd be very surprised at what some of the trade-in values can be. But with that, then too, it's that would be kind of one of the only really benefits, I guess, or one of the major benefits is you may be able to get a little bit more money. Right. Sometimes that additional money might not equate to the amount of effort and time it's going to take to do that, though, also too.
I guess what are some of the things that would be more of the hassle or like the effort that it takes to sell that car on your own? What would be some of those things?
A lot of it down to pictures and, knowing the right price and knowing if you list it for 20,000, are you going to get 20,000? Right. Some of the other things is somebody's going to have to come to your house to look at the car. And, if they do, test drive the vehicle, if something were to happen to the vehicle mechanically or have physical damage, I mean, those are some of the things that, we deal with sometimes, not a whole lot, but a lot of the times, sometimes people might not want to deal with the hassle, and that's kind of the biggest thing. And I kind of always equate it to doing your taxes. I mean, everyone could do their own taxes, but it's kind of a pain in the butt. And sometimes, paying that $100 or $60 for your taxes to be done is just a little easier to have someone else do.
I just wrote a check to my tax guy today, and it was like the best money I've spent because I didn't have to do it. And I know he probably got me the most money from a refund, or he took care of us the best that he could do because he's the expert in that field, right?
Right, exactly.
Yeah. And I think we compared it to, again, with real estate, so whether you want to list your house on your own, or if you want to take and enlist in an expert as a real estate agent and pay them a little bit to take care of the paperwork, take care of the showings, take care of the photo listings, all of that for you too. So really, I think you explained that great of what some of the pros or what are some of the cons are for selling your vehicle privately or on your own.
Yep.
So let's get into what are some of the pros and the cons. Let's start with pros of trading that vehicle in.
So, some of the pros and cons. Pros would be, obviously this is one of those kind of, we were just talking, rare opportunities where you can exchange maybe a little bit of money and get a really valuable resource back, which is your time.
Yep, absolutely.
And, trading your vehicle into a dealership, you will get a tax credit too. So if you are purchasing a $20,000 car and your trade-in value is $10,000, you only have to pay taxes on that difference. Versus if you would sell it on your own, you really won't get that advantage of that tax credit then too.
For sure. So that almost equals out you taking on that, not the hassle, but the job of selling your car on your own, for that extra money that you may get.
Right.
You might get that tax credit if you trade it into a dealership, right?
Yes. Yep. And, for, the $10,000 that you would get for a trade value, that's $500 in tax savings then too. And, if you were planning on selling it for, $750 more than what the trade-in value was, you're only really to the good of the $250. And is that kind of worth the amount of time and effort you're going to put into it then too?
Time is worth a lot nowadays.
It is,
yeah, for sure. So let's say I want to trade in my car. I have a toddler, and so it's a mess. There's crackers. I think there's Pop-Tarts everywhere. Do I need to take the time to clean that out before I bring it in? Like, do I need to scrub down? Is that going to get me more for my trade, or what's the situation with that?
We see vehicles, in appraised vehicles all day, every day. And we've learned to really see through a lot of those things. We know some things aren't permanent, and,
Pop-Tarts aren't permanent.
Yes. And plus, if I get a snack in there too, I might be a little happier.
Yep.
But it's a lot of those things too. Is it worth it? Maybe, run it through the wash so we can get a really good look at it. But, it's a used vehicle, and I'd be very, very surprised or maybe a little concerned even if there weren't any signs of use.
Yeah, for sure. And I guess that's another time-saving thing too. If you decide to sell it on your own, you probably have to have it show ready. So, you probably have to have some time to detailing it, whether you put some cost into someone else detailing it or the time of you detailing it. That's time is money,
That's
so
exactly right.
That's another thing too, is that if the car isn't in completely show ready shape, I think any dealership would like to take that car in, and we've got great detail centers to clean it up, to put it on the lot as a great used car. So, okay. So what about damage or a cracked windshield? Do you have to have those things repaired to trade in the vehicle? Should you take the effort to go to your insurance company and get that body work done or the windshield replaced? Or can you do that after you would trade in a vehicle?
A lot of the times if it's something major and you can not take advantage, but use your insurance, like you should be able to use it. Yeah. Those are situations where, we're not going to want to reduce a trade-in value by a major amount due to damage. Now, if it's something that, couldn't be covered under insurance or anything like that, but in most cases, we can have, things like that covered, but you don't have to have those repairs done prior to having them brought in. And even though if it does have damage, we may reduce it a little bit, but another benefit is that it's probably going to cost us a little less to do those repairs just based on the kind of volume of repairs that we do. And so in theory, it should end up kind of coming out in the wash and end up maybe being a little ahead doing it that way then too.
Right. And I think one of the most common things we get is cracked windshields or with a little chip on it. And one thing that I don't think a lot of people know is that we have a windshield, we have two people that do windshields all day long, and that's all they do is windshield. So, if you've got a cracked windshield, don't worry about it, because bring it in. We'll go through the trade numbers and everything, but we've got a great team that does windshield repairs, and kind of forget that we have that section here at BMC too, but it's just a pretty cool thing that we offer here as well. So. Very cool. Okay, so another question, are online resources accurate? So on our website, we do have KBB as a resource because we know everyone's doing this research. They're going to X amount of websites. They know their values. They're looking at where they're at. So we do offer that on our website just as a helpful tool, but are those accurate resources, or how do you put what the market's doing right now, because it's a little bit crazy right now. So how do you justify what the online tool evaluator is saying versus what an actual trade number may be in store?
So a lot of those tools are going to be as accurate as the information that is input into them.
Right.
A lot of the times too, one really, really good way is especially putting in the zip code of what market you're in. I know it sounds a little weird that, a certain vehicle might be worth more in Denver than it is here in Bismarck. But a lot of those tools are really nice just because it just adds to our transparency as a business too. And, knowing that all of that information is easily available for our guests. And so there's, we can always just be, again, transparent and honest with our numbers because the numbers are what they are.
For sure.
But a lot of the times too, especially like you mentioned with the market, the way that it is right now, book values may be one thing, but it may be worth more just because there isn't a lot of used vehicles out there right now. And if there is a lot of a certain type, they may actually be worth below book value because there's hundreds of them for sale right now. And so it's a really good tool. I always use it more of a guideline. Because it's going to be very market based and region and area also.
Yeah. And it also depends, obviously, what condition your vehicle is when it comes into the store in person, and to make sure what you've used online is exactly what it is when you get here, when we see that vehicle as well.
Yeah, especially with, condition grading, because I know some of them will ask, is it excellent?
Every
good,
car is excellent.
fair?
Mine's excellent with the top charts.
But, about 5 to 7% of vehicles would be considered excellent.
Right.
And you kind of know what those vehicles are. They're the ones you get in. And if you appraising a trade, you feel bad because you're making it dirty just by sitting in it.
Yeah, for sure.
But a lot of vehicles are going to be in that good to fair area just because we use our vehicles every day. And, it's there's going to be signs of use.
Yeah, for sure. Another thing is, so I know we see a lot of instances where, they have one less driver in the house, or someone passed away in the family, unfortunately, and so they have an extra car. So let's say, unfortunately, one of the most common things is a death in the family, and they have an extra car they don't need to use. So do you, or does the dealership buy cars even if they don't want to look at another car, if they're not looking at purchasing a different vehicle or leasing a different vehicle? I guess, how does that work? Can I just bring my car in? Will you guys look at it? Will you give me a good offer on it? How does that work?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we will buy cars. Can I call it buying cars off the curb? Whether or not you buy a vehicle from us, we're happy to look at, purchasing a vehicle that either you might not have a need for anymore, or that you're just kind of looking to get rid of. With our trade values at Bismarck Motor Company, we do always give an actual cash value. And so it's real numbers, and it's not just an allowance.
Right.
And so, when we do buy vehicles off of the curb, stop on up. We have a great program. BMC buys cars.
Yep.
And we'd be very, very elated to take a look at some of those vehicles. Just because we want to have as much available inventory for our guests to choose from, and we're always willing to look.
Yeah, and we've got a ton of inventory right now. We've got probably 400 cars between here and getting cleaned up, so that's pretty cool. But it's a constant stream. So yeah, if there's anyone that is looking to sell their vehicle, that they don't want to take on the hassle that it may be to sell it on your own, please bring it up. See one of our sales managers. You can also visit bmcbuyscars.com. And there's a nice form on there where you can upload some photos and stuff too. Because we know you guys can't always get to us, but we've kind of made it accessible online as well.
Absolutely.
So I don't see any other questions. Jake, did you have anything else that you wanted to add in the should I sell or should I buy my car aspect?
And kind of like you were mentioning too, whether or not you're buying a vehicle from us, it might not be the first place people are going to look to go and sell their vehicle. Absolutely. But a lot of the times you'd be pretty surprised with some of the values that, we are able to trade them in for, just because
we need cars right now,
buying a local vehicle that's a local trade is always, a good vehicle to have too.
Yeah, for sure. And then someone else can pass that on and be driving locally. It's pretty cool. So, okay, we're going to do something pretty special right now. We're going to try this out. So kind of join us in testing us in, but we are going to patch in a couple people on the lot right now that are in one of our favorite vehicles, a 2021 Nissan Rogue. So we're testing this out, but we should be able to remote patch them in and go for a little bit of a virtual test drive. So Blake, we're going to pass it on over to you. Give us a like if you can see both us and Blake, who is on the lot with Ben Dingus.
All right.
Hey,
can you guys
do we hear Blake? Hold on, Blake, 1 second. Do we hear Blake? Can we get some likes if we hear Blake?
Everybody hear me all right?
We're good? Sorry, we're doing through a little technical. All right, we got thumbs up. We're good to go. Okay, Blake and Ben. Yep.
All right. Hey everybody, I'm Blake, Digital Media Specialist here at Bismarck Motor Company, and I'm here with Ben, one of our sales consultants, and we're going to take a ride in the 2021 Nissan Rogue. So Ben, if you want to just give us a little overview, what's the difference between the 21 Rogue compared to the old 20 Rogue?
Absolutely. Thank you very much, Blake. So, a lot of us up at the dealership had been waiting for a redesign on the Nissan Rogue, and the 2021 definitely delivered. In my opinion, it kind of comes down to a few different things: comfort, convenience, and safety. We're sitting in a 21 Platinum Rogue right now, so we've kind of got it all. So when we're talking about comfort, we're talking about remote start. We're talking about heated seats, heated steering wheel, things like that, dual climate controls. When we're talking about convenience, we've got a huge redesigned screen up here for all of our controls, as far as our radio, as far as our climate controls, anything information wise for the vehicle, especially with when you go into your backup camera there. You've got your 360 surround camera views as well. Over in front of the steering wheel, convenience wise, we've got the new redesigned digital cockpit. Much easier to read and kind of customize the information that you want to see. When we're talking more convenience as well, redesigned up here, easier electronic shifting with additional storage underneath. So more room for you to keep your stuff kind of situated. And when we're talking safety, which is probably the most important, standard on all of our on the Nissan Rogues now is we've got adaptive cruise control, lane keep assist, and blind spot monitoring. So you're definitely going to be safer out on the road. Again, comfort, safety, and convenience. So they definitely delivered, packed full of technology. The price is right. If you haven't stopped up to Bismarck Motor Company to check the new Nissan Rogue out, you're doing yourself a disservice. You need to come up and take a look for yourself. See it in person.
Awesome. Well, Ben, I really appreciate that. And after that being said, we'll send it back up to Chenille and Jake. So thanks a lot, guys.
All right, I think we are back on live. Sorry, like I said, we're doing a little bit of difficulty, but what do you guys think about that? That was kind of cool, right?
Really like that. Yeah.
Back to you in studio, right?
That's right.
We're like getting official here. So that was really awesome. So thanks to Blake and Ben for showing off one of our most popular. I absolutely love the redesigned Rogue. Like it's a world of a difference from, I mean, I like the other Rogue, but the stuff Nissan's doing is really cool with their technology and everything.
Very cool.
They did a great job with that. And I know they've got a really good lease on it right now. So
they do. Yep.
Something good going on here for the month up at Bismarck Motor Company. So we are going to wrap it up. I guess if you guys are watching, again, we're going to give away this mug, which is like, you can probably put 20 ounces of coffee in there. So again, a great, if you had a long night and you need a lot of coffee, this would be a good size for that.
There we go.
So if you are watching now, or if you are watching the replay, just post below replay, or give us a like. We will do a drawing here probably tomorrow and give away this fun mug. So thanks again, Jake, for joining us today on BMC Live. If you guys have questions, or if you want to, we're just here to be helpful. So if you have questions on just common car buying questions or service questions, please DM us, please post below. We're always looking for additional content of what we can cover. And we love being here with you guys, and we love chatting cars with you. So awesome. Well, we're good to go. So thank you again for joining.
Thanks again.